Hello again. One must always be wary not to fall into the trap of the logical fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc. That is to say, assuming that because one thing occurs before another, the first thing has caused the second thing. So it is 50 years ago. Stable two-parent families were all but universal, and rates of murder, street crime, all sorts of other undesirable things were low in Britain. As the number of single parent families has risen, so has juvenile delinquency, homicide, disorder, and poor behaviour by young people generally. It's rocketed. Are the two connected? We can best answer this question by looking at those young people who do get into trouble, have babies very young, end up in prison, that sort of thing. A few statistics from the United States are interesting. There, 71% of high school dropouts and teen mothers come from fatherless homes. 85% of all children who show behavioural disorders come from fatherless homes. That's about 20 times national average. 85% of youths in prison are from fatherless homes. And 63% of youth suicides are of children who come from fatherless homes. There's a similar picture in Britain. This seems as though it might be indicative of an association between the lack of a traditional two-parent family and problems for young people. In Britain, mental health and educational attainment have both been found to be intimately linked to the presence or absence of a father in the home. These effects appear to be lifelong, that is to say that the lack of good educational attainment affects earnings and the standard of living for the whole of the life of a child who grew up in fatherless homes. Such individuals are more prone to mental health problems, depression, eating disorders and so on, alcoholism, drug use, long after they're no longer children. The lack of a father seems to have a very serious detrimental effect on their life prospects. There's something interesting about these figures for crime, mental health and so on, and that is that they're connected with the fact that kids growing up in single parent families, if this is so, it has implications also for such things as the rate among different ethnicities. In black families in Britain, 24.3% are single parent families. Fewer than that, 21.6% are married couples raising children. With other groups, things are very different. Only 8.8% of Asian families are single parent, and 5 times as many, 47%, are married couples raising children. White families are 3 times as likely to be raising children in families with married parents as they are to be single parents. Black people are the only group where there are more single parent families than married couples with children. I'll give a link to this in the description to this video. I can't help wondering if right there is not something which explains, at least to some extent, the prevalence of violent crime, including street robbery and murder, and also, of course, behavioural problems at schools and mental health problems in later life amongst young black people. The picture is similar in America too. Stable families with married couples act to discourage crime. Single parent families have the opposite effect.